know what is going on. Okay, and it might have download an app. I'm gonna try to set up my phone.
What is up, everybody? What is up? I hope everybody is well. We are having some technical difficulties. I'm going to try to bring Anita in right now.
Golly, I'm sorry, y'all.
You sound better now. You sound better.
Okay, because I'm struggling. I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone because I don't know what's going on with my computer. But I apologize, y'all.
All right.
Yeah, I'm struggling today, so we gonna be all right.
Yeah, we'll be all right. So hello to everyone. Hello to Rhonda. Good afternoon to you. Rhonda, y'all make sure you hit the like button. Yoli was waiting. I do apologize. We had some time to be like that, y'all, you know. And Miles says to Garrett, I know you got a list of talking points, all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah. How you know? All right. All right. So I'm sure that everyone in here knows this, but we might get some new listeners, some new followers. This might go viral. So Miss Anita, please introduce yourself if you would.
All right. My name is Anita Stoudemire. I am the founder of Better Love Movement. And that is a platform over on Instagram, here on YouTube, where we talk all about dating, relationships, things that are going on in the current day. We talk about all kinds of things. I've been talking about a lot of different things now. But I am passionate about putting an end to the foolishness. I give old school Gen X advice, common sense advice. And that's it. That's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for having us. Thanks for being here, I should say.
Yeah.
We started off with a little technical difficulties. So we're going to woosah. We're going to breathe. It's connected. You sound good. And all that kind of stuff. So everything is good. Listen, I know there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than technical difficulties.
Yes.
Bala Hall, Lamar, aka Lamar, welcome. Thank you so much. High vibe greetings to you. And yes, everyone who watches this, whether you're watching us live or watching us in the future, please make sure you hit the like button. And I really shouldn't have to tell you that about any other videos. I watched was watching a review of a video today. You know, 450 people watch it. Like 50 people like the video. Come on now. Come on now. Like the video. You'll make it, particularly if you like it all the way through, no matter if it's my video, Anita's videos, or anybody's videos. You watch all the way through, give them a like. Come on now. Jeez. Let's see. All right. So we're going to have a discussion today about the foolishness that's going on in the world. And, you know, we both watched, or I sent Anita that video of everybody's favorite doctor, which I'm not going to call her anymore because she is not a doctor. And I did, if you have not watched this, I did 2 videos about this lady, about her not having a doctorate. So we're not going to call her doctor anymore. It's just Cheyenne Bryant. At least I'm not going to call her that. But anyway, you can go watch those videos and let me know your assessment about whether you think that's correct or not. So we're going to review a couple of her things. But what I wanted to talk about just a little bit is and present this idea that there's ladies who are tricking themselves into being 304s. Anita sent me a video and I think something else, and an article, and these ladies are out here, regretting what they're doing. I think we're going to cover that today. We're covering that today, right?
Yep.
Horrible
Horrible
decisions. Yeah.
decisions. Yep.
All right, so we're going to cover that. But I wanted to show that there's literature about this kind of stuff, right? And these people are trying to make this seem normal and all that. So first thing I want to show, and this is from Vice, magazine here, online magazine. How to biohack your brain to have sex without getting emotionally attached. While it doesn't really explicitly say so, it's really geared more towards the ladies, right? So I'm going to skip down through this a little bit here. Let's see. So it starts off an all too familiar situation for many people. You decide to have sex with someone whose personality you find repugnant. How many people are doing that? Whom you have no interest in dating, only to find yourself bizarrely attached to them in the morning. I always want to date people I have sex with, said 25-year-old Lucy, even if I hate them. This is crazy. Romantic works in mysterious ways. It's thought to be the result of complex cocktail of hormones, neurobiological processes, and social conditioning. While many part of human cognition remains a total enigma, scientists have isolated a few hormones and brain structures that may be responsible for the insane texts and you sent the other night. Much of what we've come to know about love is through prairie voles. The rodent are beloved among scientists attempting to elucidate the mysteries of human love. Unlike 90% of mammals, they're monogamous, and vole couples form extremely strong attachments to one another. Given a choice, the animals, which hail from the woodlands of Europe and Asia, will choose to hang out with their partners exclusively, groom each other, and even nest together. In studies, researchers isolated two hormones responsible for these enduring bonds, oxytocin and vasopressin, both of which are released during prairie vole sex. Did you think you're going to tune in and get a lesson about prairie vole sex here? Tests show that when voles are given a dose of vasopressin or females of oxytocin, the animals bond on site with the nearest potential mate before mating even occurs. For male and female prairie voles, researchers have thus concluded vasopressin and oxytocin are the magic ingredients for lifelong monogamy, binding the two together until death do them part. No priest involved. I always want to date people I have sex with, even if I hate them. Male voles produce vasopressin, explains Larry Young, a researcher at Emory University, whose research specializes in the social behavior of prairie voles. The vasopressin system stimulates territorial behavior. It is more of a possessive bond. You want to know why guys get crazy? This is why. Studies have shown that when male prairie voles are injected with chemicals that prevent the release of vasopressin, they fail to bond with their female mates. Meanwhile, female voles depend more on oxytocin, although males release the hormone also. Produced in the hypothalamus, oxytocin is profoundly linked to a range of social behaviors, including maternal bonding, attachment forming, and reading and recognizing social cues. In female voles, oxytocin combines with dopamine to create a strong sense of attachment. There is a cocktail of chemicals going on in the female vole's brain, and of them is oxytocin, Young explains. It makes the brain absorb the social cues of sexual partner, things like their face, their smell, how they sound. When the voles mate, a part of the brain called the nucleus accumbens makes a connection between the social cues and the oxytocin, causing them to observe and sense the pleasure of occasion by a massive dump of dopamine, the pleasure hormone in the brain. So this goes on for a little bit here, but I want to get to where they try to tell you how to defeat all these chemicals that are going on here. So it talks about a little bit about addiction, and how drugs deal with it. And when you drink alcohol, in particular for ladies, they bond more when they're drinking alcohol. So you guys can go over here to read this, but there was something I want to read on here. Oh, and let's see. Another way to prevent the intimate association between your F buddy And the heightened activity of your brain's reward center is to consciously focus your thoughts on another person during sex. This is how they want you to defeat it. You're forcing your brain to associate the pleasure you're feeling with someone else, Young explains. It could be a movie star, someone you're never going to really see. By doing that, you divert the brain's attention onto someone that's not there. This prevents the brain from forming the bond with the person you're actually having sex with. You're not absorbing the visual cues that are vital to oxytocin release. Let's see. There was something in here about not looking these people in the eye. I don't know if that's on here, but Young also suggests avoiding nipple play. Well, okay, he didn't exactly say that. I paraphrase. Here's what he actually said. Humans are the only species where men have adopted the strategy of breast stimulation during sex to stimulate oxytocin release. The breast has become in humans a point of sexual attraction and foreplay. It's a way to activate oxytocin system, coaxing the female brain to become attached to the sexual partner. Women are conditioned to release oxytocin in response to nipple stimulation. Here's some free game for you guys. If it's how we nurse our babies. So that's enough of that. And one more article. You guys can go over and read the rest of that. And here's from Wiki. Share screen. And this is how to have sex without falling in love. And this is co-authored by Supatra Tovar, Psych D. I don't know what RD stands for. When I looked it up, it said something dietitian. I don't know what RD stands for. But anyway, Psych D, dietitian. When you're single, yada yada yada. Okay. Number one thing: avoid catching feelings. How to avoid catching feelings. Remember that sex does not mean you have to fall in love. Having sex and falling in love are two very different things. Most people are taught by movies, TV, et cetera, et cetera. After orgasm, women release the oxytocin, also known as the cuddle chemical that mimics the feelings of connection. This is why, regardless of the logical thoughts about a person, love is often confused as sex. So remember, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. Method number 2, avoid sleeping with people that you have a romantic history with. So if you want to keep hooking up with your ex, might not be a good idea. Let's see. What else should you do? Ask yourself what you're looking for in the hookup, right? Be honest with yourself. And set boundaries with your sexual partner. Don't hook up every chance you get with the same person. Spread it around, right, Anita? Make sex the priority in a relationship. Make sex the priority in a relationship. Re-examine your relationship every few weeks. Leave when you're uncomfortable.
Wow.
Okay. So that's that. You can go over to Wiki and check that out. There was something in one of these articles about when you're having sex, don't look them in the eye. It must have been in that. I must have skipped over in that Vice article. So anyway, I know you got a lot to say about that, Anita.
So I made a video today. I went live today and I talked about how, this is 2025. We want to socialize, especially women. We want to socialize women to technically not be feminine, right? The true nature of feminine women is to be good gatekeepers. And I said in my live, that is why sexual assault and rape, that is why that's such a heinous crime. Because a strange man that we don't know is forcing himself inside of us. So how do you explain that? In one article, we're saying, yeah, that's cool, that's okay, but heaven forbid, a man force himself inside of you and now it's not okay. It's not okay. That is the true nature of the feminine woman, is to keep most men out. That's being a good gatekeeper. That is in our evolutionary psychology. Everyone shouldn't come in. And only when a man has invested, only when a man proves his love for us, only when a man is committed, only when a man marries us, that's the ultimate commitment, do we allow him access. But today, men and women are trying to socialize everyone, but especially women, to be poor gatekeepers. That none of that matters. Just, if you feel it, do it. And I hate the expression, and I said this, stop saying we grown. Stop saying that. Like that's some sort of pass to be promiscuous. Well, we grown. No, I ain't that. Because you ain't getting access to my body at any age. Unless we're in something serious or married, then I guess, yeah, I'm gonna skip that.
Yeah. Thank you for this. A registered dietitian. That's what I thought it was, but okay. She's a registered dietitian. So she knows about dietitians and she knows about breast sucking or whatever.
Okay.
So, is that her? Then Bob says oxytocin causes the release of breast milk. All right. Jayla, what's up? Hey, Dr. L, and hello, Anita. Hoping you're all both well. We are both well. October said, who wrote this BS? I think it was a woman. I read it.
Yeah.
These are women writing this.
These are women writing it.
There was the article, I think, by the guy from Emory and Vice. I think that was a guy. I'm pretty sure that was a guy. But the other one was in Wiki was a woman. Yeah. So, all right. Who the hell are these authors? They need to check in with their psychiatrists. What is the YouTube page of the female guest here? Tell them about your YouTube page.
It's Better Love Movement. That's my handle everywhere. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it's Better Love Movement.
Which one did you want to do first? You want to do Cheyenne Bryant or do you want to do the other one?
Oh, Lord, I could talk all day about it. You decide. Either one. Here, let's lead into horrible decisions because we're talking about the casual sex. And they were recently on Shan Boudram's Lovers by Shan. They were on her podcast talking about, Shan wanted to know, are there regrets, to having casual sex? What's the fallout of casual sex? So since we're talking about that, we can actually lead with that.
Very good. That's a good idea. Okay. So this is what's the emotional tax on casual sex? So let me present here. And this comes from Lovers by Shan at Decisions Pod. And this is why they get the horrible decisions. And I got to go to 1048 here. We got timestamps. We're not going to sit here and watch all this. So we got timestamps. All right. So here we go. I'm going to speed up to 1.25 because how are you for time today? How much time you got today?
I'm good today. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I have not seen this, so I'm going to watch this with you guys.
But we only want to be with Black men. So there's this struggle of really wanting to receive and be a part of Black love while also going through these traumatic experiences about like our dealings with Black men, whether it be my dad, whether it be other people. Like in the book, I talk about my first sexual assault as an adult that I thought was my first sexual assault. And I literally wrote in the book, why was he Black? It made me so mad that as a Black man, he would hurt his sister essentially. And that's been like my dilemma too, is really loving and craving the attention and desire and love and intimacy from a Black man specifically, but also not knowing or having felt safe just yet all the way. So it will work, but it takes, you'll find a person.
I'm glad that you touched on that. Like my first experience with sexual assault was from a Black man, and I try not to hold that against them. And eventually I would have different experiences with all kinds of men that were sexual assault, but it really does leave a hole in you because I feel as a Black woman, like we really do love them immensely and like we'll go hard for them. And it feels like it's not reciprocal. And I think that's the most important thing for me in terms of expressing myself sexually or in love is just to have that reciprocation.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
What?
Yeah. So right there. Yep.
Okay.
I wanted everyone to take note that pretty much everyone on this panel, other than Shan, has experienced sexual assault. So I want you to take note that there is, in fact, a correlation between women who have suffered sexual assault sexual rape, abuse, whether they were a child or even a young adult, there is a correlation between that and promiscuity. Okay, so we're laying the groundwork on this casual sex, thing that we're talking about, that they already are coming from a place that isn't healthy, right? They've already had their sexuality used in a horrible way. So it's not as precious. It's not, that right there is ruining the gatekeeping, because they've already had someone come and take it. And so it opens the door to, okay, well, and this is the same where women say, I'm going to take back my sexuality. They tried to take the word whore and they tried to so-called take it back and make it mean something empowering or liberated. And even they admitted in this episode, they weren't able to do that. That word is a horrible word. Like, that is not, I would never want to call myself a whore. That's not a good word. But they changed the name of their podcast to Decisions, because it was originally Horrible Decisions, spelled WHORIBLE. And they said, yeah, we couldn't make that word a positive word. I'm like, because it's not. But I need you to understand that these women have a background in sexual assault. So already the mind is not healthy. And now it's trying to take back the sexuality or take back the objectification. We'll just objectify ourselves. That's in essence what they're saying.
I'm trying to, when you're speaking, I'm trying to focus on you. I'm sorry, I'm cycling through these. So I'm trying to focus just on you. I don't know how people do that. So I'll figure it out later. When the show's over, I usually figure stuff out. All right. So that laid the groundwork there, that they had some experiences there. I'll fast forward to the next timestamp that you have here.
Yep.
How many moments? I think I even referenced, there's a chapter, not to get too dark and morbid, about suicide, where I was like, oh my God, I'm the happy girl.
Sorry.
Okay.
On horrible, like, there's so many moments. I think I even referenced, there's a chapter, not to get too dark and morbid, about suicide, where I was like, oh my God, I'm the happy girl. On horrible, like, yeah, go Raven, find your power. That was me when I was young on our podcast. And I was going home like, is this going to be the night I do it? It's crazy that we can do it for others, but not ourselves. So like to see that you have this sexual power, but sometimes don't take it for you. It's already, and even you saying submissive, I'm so submissive. Being a giver really limits you sometimes from getting out there. The people pleasing, all of that. It's exhausting. Nothing has been more exhausting to me, I think, than recognizing that I have to give back to myself, because it's not the thing that makes me most happy.
So now I'm at this point whenever I'm questioning myself in terms of my sexual liberation, I have it on my coffee table. And like you, I probably will look at some hentai and be like, girl, if you don't get out there and get your back blown out or something.
Well, the aliens and demons ain't here for us.
Right.
Yet.
So right there.
I'm looking through this and I'm like, but no.
So right there, Wheezy is talking about being suicidal. Like they're pulling the curtain back. And you're seeing that these women are not happy. They're not happy. If they could be brutally honest, you would see that this behavior is not always fun. They're not happy. Like, there's more to the story. And so I want people to really pay attention to these, small parts where they talk about being suicidal, where they talk about their sexual assault. Like, all of this is coming from somewhere. These people are not as happy as they're pretending to be. And yet they're talking about this casual sex lifestyle, and they're encouraging other women to do it. And this is what it's going to lead to. So there have to be other voices out here that speak against this.
Do we believe these women are healed, or do you think that this is part of their therapy talking about it?
Yeah, and it maybe, but they're not. They're not. But like I said, they have a very popular podcast, and this is their message, that every woman should have a hoe phase, that, So there have to be other voices that counter this type of talk.
High Vibe says that should be a question men have answered when dating a woman. It will explain a lot about her sexual nature, but don't judge. Don't judge it. Just know she will need a lot of careful handling.
Yep. I know that is one of the questions. That's one of the questions that I encourage men to ask. I encourage men to ask if a woman has any sexual trauma or sexual abuse.
They're kind of young, right? They're probably 20s, mid to late 20s.
So
early 30s?
I think Wheezy's 34. I think the other girl is around 32, 33. Yep.
Okay. Listen, when you turn a certain age, you can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell anymore. All right. We'll fast forward to the next timestamp here. 1655, 16.
That looks more like that sexual life will get you there.
I'd love to ask you all, how do you find sexual liberation while also not being objectified out in the world? That's been, I'm trying to find a balance between that as well.
Oh,
My answer is kind of rough.
Yeah.
so is mine.
I don't think anyone cares about your soul for a little bit. I don't believe
Oh shit.
I don't believe that anyone does in the beginning. I don't. When I'm swiping on Hinge, he's hot. She's hot. I don't really give a fuck about what her fears are yet. That's the truth. Now, being that you look like the boho soulful girl, you probably are one of those people. I would just guess, because I'm one of those. If I meet you for 5 minutes, I'm probably going to end up talking about traumas and something super deep and meaningful, because that's my shit. That's my kink. But not everybody's like that. And off the rip, we're already going for aesthetic. You're swiping on aesthetic. Or, I mean, maybe the bio's decent, but you do the same. We're all doing it. Sometimes people got to get to that level. I think they expect to be objectified. You could wear a garbage bag and someone's going to do it to you.
Yeah.
Don't think because you're going to be sexier, it's going to happen and be worse.
Removing the fear of being objectified looks like seeing yourself and valuing yourself. So back when I was very uncomfortable with my weight, I realized I sought validation in men. I sought, like, a man wanting to fuck me made me feel sexier. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And so it wasn't until I really started like leaning into self-love and knowing like the things that I wanted and being able to vocalize them. That's one thing. Because again, pleasing some guy, I don't know why we were taught that if you have sex with a man, they're gonna like you more. That is a lie.
Yes.
That is a lie. I don't know why. Why the hell? Why was that even talked to us as, like, you know, if you just give him a little something, you'll no. I mean,
Now that's not cultural.
a man is,
We all
that's
think
American.
that.
No, that's across the board.
Yep.
We were taught that, well, if you have sex with him, he'll like you a little bit more. Which is why, like, you know, we have all these struggles with like how early we
The
give it to
truth
him.
is, you'll get a longer shelf life with him, but he's already decided what shelf you're going to be on. And if you don't want to be on that shelf, being on that shelf for 2 more years is not the win that you think it is.
It's not.
So you'll get the attention. So that's the thing, is for some people, having sex is the only way you're going to maintain that person's attention.
And
But
that's
it's a level of attention that you're not even interested
Shelf
in.
life was such a good way.
All right,
Like,
that right there.
I think one of the most
Yep. So that was the most honest thing that they said in this episode, is that having sex with a man is not going to change the box that he's already put you in. Right? It's only going to keep you around longer in that box that isn't going anywhere. That's probably the most honest thing they said. But you notice they said, yeah, expect to be objectified. That's what it's all about. Nobody cares about your soul. Nobody cares about you. This is the message that we're pushing now. So it's all about aesthetic.
So that's, I mean, again, you know, you and I have talked about this, such a role reversal, because now the guys got to
Right.
be the pretty ones.
Right.
And they're wrestling with the idea. How foolish is it to wrestle with the idea of being sexually liberated, but also not being objectified? I want to eat this cheeseburger, but I don't want to get fat. I mean,
exactly. But that is where the modern day woman is. It is like a collective mental illness. They do not believe in trade-offs. They do not believe, they really think they can have it all. It's a sickness. It's just sick. And when I continue to say, look, life is about trade-offs. You can have this, but you're not getting this. You can do this, but you can't do this. and they just refuse to let that sink in. It's really sad. And it's like life is going to have to teach them some really hard lessons. But here's
Well,
what
I mean,
here's what my grandfather taught me. There is learning lessons from experience, but wisdom says I can learn lessons from other people's experience. I do not need to go out and do the thing to learn the lesson. Yeah, I can see how it's working out for other people.
but these ladies are in their 30s, and shouldn't they know this by now? I mean, shouldn't they have enough experience? I don't know if they've been to college, but college experience,
Yeah.
going to the bars in their early 20s, and you're still doing this?
Still doing this. Yep.
October says, when should that question be asked? Talking about the men, when should they ask the question about sexual past traumas? And
in the first 30 days. In the first 30 days of dating that woman. It doesn't have to be on the first date. I think that's a bit much. But in the first 30 days, yes. And I recommend you do it when you're over the phone, right? You don't even have to be in front of the person. But if you're having a phone call, having a phone conversation, hey, I just am curious about some things about you and getting to know you and your, just your past life. You are going to ask that, right? Just like I ask men if they have attraction to other men. Do you have attraction to other men? Do you have sex with other men? Do you consider you having sex with other men, you not being homosexual? Like I ask men that directly. Yeah, because I need to know that. I need to know who I'm working with.
Mm. Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's see. Next timestamp here. 18, 15, 18. Oh, wait. We rolled past the second
Yeah.
one. So.
Yeah. We're good on the depth because we put them all together.
Okay.
When a man is having an experience with dating women, all of us are guilty of, I can't do this because I need to wait a certain amount of dates. I'm looking for love, so I shouldn't lead with just sex. But like literally, I was looking for love the whole time when I started having casual sex. I just started to accept my fate. Like the pursuit sometimes.
Say that more about that. I just started to accept my fate. What does that mean?
I have always wanted love. Matter of fact, I'll give you an easy example. You and Jared didn't have kids yet at your last place when I first did your podcast. I remember watching you guys kiss and enjoy each other and thought, I really want this sometime. They look so great. Or this is such a nice house. I can imagine this, that feeling of it, right? Went on a date later that night, thought about that. I know I want this for myself, but my fate is it doesn't always have to be him. People feel that pressure. Me carrying the abundance of wanting love and marriage and family is just me. However, if I exude that and push that onto everyone, it just doesn't work out. It's like a desperate job interview. Oh, did I tell you I love Google? Oh, I use Google all the time. Well, goddamn. Like they're already under that assumption. We already know what we want for ourselves. If we walk, talk, and believe that it's happening, it is. It's just not always going to be with that person, accepting the fate of whatever can come with who they are. Much like friendship. If you go out with your friends, for example, we always want it to be the best night ever. But if you're just chilling at a bar and you end up having a great conversation, why can't we accept that fate instead of saying, it was terrible, I should have never left the house? No, you got to catch up with your friend. No one has the ability to control the other person in the thing that they want. If you want a relationship, that takes two, right? Getting that buy-in on the first date isn't going to happen. So we kind of got to release that a little bit. Still get to know someone. Don't tell me how many fucking kids you want yet. Like, who are you? I know you fine. That's first. I'm objectifying. What else? Do they like anime too? I just really hope that all of us can walk through life, whether it be relationship, work, anything we desire, with just accepting the fate as it comes.
Shane, can I ask you that question?
Yeah.
Like in having these conversations, because
So you noticed that straight off rip, she admitted that I was always looking for love. Like if you listen to people, if you actually listen to them, they're going to tell you what time they're on. Right? She didn't say I was after an orgasm. I was after getting my back blown out. She was after love. And if I'm being honest, that's 99% of women. When they're having casual sex with a man, they're looking for love. They're not looking for the big O. They're not looking, to just, let me open my legs to every man. They're technically looking for love. And when that chemical cocktail comes on and we bond to a man that we had sex with, see, there it is. So I listen to people. I listen to the words they say. And I was like, yeah, I actually think that's most women. But what I want women to do, instead of leading with sex to get love, I want you to acknowledge that, hey, I'm looking for something real. I am looking for love. I'm looking for my person. And I want you to hold off on the sex and see if you can get a little bit of that love or friendship from that person first. Right? Because, yeah, sleeping around, that's not, in my humble opinion, the way to find love. That's not the way to find love. Quite the opposite.
So that answers a few questions that I've always asked, is why do women engage in that type of behavior, knowing that many times they don't experience that big O?
Yeah.
And that answers it, because they're really looking for love.
They
Wow.
are. They
That's
are.
deep. That's deep.
And I'm glad she admitted it, because most of the women that I coach, most of the women that I counsel, they're going to be honest. Yeah, I was looking for love. I was hoping he was going to be my man. I was hoping he was going to be my husband. But unfortunately, because you led with sex, like it could, and don't get me wrong, it's not to say that it couldn't have gone that way. But one of the things that she put a comment she pinned a comment to this episode that said, hey, I just want y'all to know that the statistics say that 1 in 6, so 1 out of 6, yep, casual sex relationships turn into a meaningful relationship. See? So more often than not, it ain't turning into anything real. Even she admitted that. So be mindful, okay, when you're out here sleeping around looking for love. Only 1 in 6 is that going to happen. So again, I'm glad that she's honest. Like, finally, be honest with people. And when women are, you get these anomalies. Well, I slept with my husband on the first night and we've been together 20 years. Baby, you're what we call an outlier. You're an outlier, sweetheart. You're not in the mean average, which is 80%. You're an outlier. So stop telling people that narrative. Right? That's not going to happen to most of us.
Chocolate is asking a question. Have you gotten weird responses when you ask the question? I assume the male on male question there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. And like I said, I'm a body language reader, right? I look at everything. I'm not into words. I'm not into words like that. Most women are into words. I look at body language. I do pay attention to what people say, but I look at body language. And even I've had some men where they'll answer the question and, it makes them uncomfortable, or they're frustrated, or they're angry. I've had other men where they come back again. Like they want to talk about it again and again. And I'm like, bruh, you trying too hard to prove you ain't gay. Like, you doing too much. Like, we done talked about this 3 times now. You making me think, yeah, something is going on. Right. So just trust your gut. Trust your gut instinct on that.
Sequoia says, dating is for marriage. Courtship is for single people pursuing marriage.
Yep.
Friendship, courtship, marriage. We are friends until you decide you want to pursue marriage. Friends don't have sex.
That's it. That's how I do it. That's exactly how I do it. Right. And when my husband said, he said on the second date, like, hey, I'm looking to get married. Like, we had a friendship, but he went in hot. He was like, I'm looking to get married. I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking to have some kids. So sure, we can be friends, but that's where I'm headed. Like, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to end up. Most men don't do that. And that's okay. And so we can be cool. We can have a friendship. We can talk on the phone. We can go out and do things together as a group or individually. We can be cool. But that's exactly how I work too. I have guy friends and I let them know, if you want to pursue me for something serious, then you need to say that. Outside of that, we cool. We cool. But I'm not sleeping with you. But you would have to tell me, yes, I want to pursue you for something serious, something real. And we're not doing that. We're all putting the cart before the horse. We jump in and have sex and the chemical cocktail takes over. Then we try to figure out if we're compatible. Most of us are not. Then we may consider, well, should we be serious? Should we be married? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not intentional at all. And I keep telling people, nothing else in our life is done like that. When I wanted to start a business, when I wanted to become a teacher, when I wanted to become a therapist, when I wanted to buy a home, when I wanted to purchase a car, I was very intentional. I had all these steps that I went through. But relationships, we just wing it. That's why we get bad results.
We kind of covered this a little bit, Carlene Adams. This looking for love, does it come from, we talk about sexual promiscuity. I'm assuming you got to hear a little bit late, daddy issues or what? We said when we first started this comes from sexual promiscuity, and I would assume, sexual trauma usually. Mm-hmm. And I would assume that sexual trauma is very highly linked to the lack of father figures being protectors around. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So we're looking for love. We're looking for validation. You heard the other young lady say that she was overweight. So she was 80 pounds overweight. And, I was insecure about my weight. I know. And so you're out here, giving it up to everybody, because what do we say? The top 5-10% of men will sleep with you, right? They didn't have no problem sticking it to her when she was overweight, but they don't want to be with her. And since I've lost weight and I was looking for validation, like I said, let people talk. They're going to tell you what time they're on.
October says, I asked the outliers, would you give your daughters the same advice?
Exactly. Yep. So no.
Right. 2302. Oh, we passed that one.
Yeah, we should be good on that one.
24. Yes, 24. 2450.
Have these non-committal friends with benefits situations with men while also wanting the feelings of being cared for, like if they were their partner.
I loved what you said so much about accepting your fate, because when you just know in your heart, and most people can know this, 80% of people will find a long-term partner by 40. I can't promise you that 80% of people are going to get a house, are going to have their dream job. I can't make that kind of promise. You're going to live in the best city, but that is a stat that only exists for this space. So you can almost move like it's going to happen, but you also have no control over when you meet that person. What you do have control over, I think though, is your light. Like being in a space where you are light, where you feel liquid, where you don't feel needy because you have opportunities around you. I would say, and I did this when I had a fuck buddy, which Jared is my fuck buddy, which is the worst plot twist. I know, it's so boring.
Now look what you turned
such a good fuck buddy relationship, because I had Jared as a fuck buddy. I had a cuddle buddy who I would go and sleep over with afterwards, because that's
not what y'all had.
No, but the other guy, I would go over there. We never had sex, but I would walk his dog.
He had to be smaller.
We would be attracted. He was so fine. He was a model. He wasn't what Jared had sexually, sauce wise and skill wise.
The skill. He's smiling on it.
This other dude was stunning and gorgeous. I loved being around him. I liked his energy. I just didn't think we would have great sex, but I knew I liked being around somebody really attractive, and he was fun. You can have 6 people that make up one and keep your heart open, and knowing that when you find the one, you're going to know.
And you don't have to sleep with all 6. That's another thing about dating. Like when you share, I'm talking to 6 guys, doesn't mean I'm having sex with all of them. So you could literally kind of build a bear until you find the one that you really want to be like, okay, I'm good with talking.
I've been used.
Yeah.
So I got to stop it there. I don't know. I don't know if you want to stop it, but I want to ask about this build a bear. And you think if you're dating 6 different people, you would think that any of them is going to take you seriously.
Right. And you're not emotionally investing in any of them. It's madness, but that's what they're selling you. That you can get something from this guy and something from this guy and something from this guy. You're not emotionally invested in any of those people. You're not taking the time and the energy that is necessary to create something real with 6 different men. And energetically, you're like all over the place. You're not going to find your person doing that. You're not going to find your husband doing that. You are all over the place. But that's what, again, this is what they're selling to modern day women. Yeah. Oh, and you don't have to have sex with all of them. You shouldn't be having sex with any of them. But again, why don't you get to know this person? And again, what's the harm in 30 days? Like, really try to figure out in 3 dates. That's my rule. In 3 dates, I determine whether I want to move forward or whether we're not a good fit. Now, I am incredibly intentional. Like, people are shocked how intentional I am, because I see relationships, dating, marriage. I'm serious about it. It ain't a game to me. So I ask lots of questions. We go out, we have fun. I observe you. I even sometimes bring friends or bring you around my friends and around people that I trust, because I'm like, yeah, they're going to vet you too and see if we're a good fit for one another. So very quickly, I can determine, okay, yes, I want to keep going with this person, or no, we're not a good fit. And then we're done. And then we're done. And then if I meet someone else, I do the same thing all over again. So I don't need to date 6 people all at once. I vet people very quickly because I'm very intentional. And I can tell pretty quickly if we're a good energetic match. If the person, you know, has my top 3. So I can determine the top 3 in those 3 dates. And remember, the top 3 is absolute must have. They must have the top 3. So if that doesn't work out, I'm good, right? I'm good. But yeah, in 3 dates, I can determine if they have the top 3 things that I must have. And so I don't understand why the multiple, you know, juggling all these multiple men, just, you know, be able to vet quickly.
You as a woman, you tell us, I mean, these got to be beta men, right? I mean, you tell me these got to be beta men. You're
Most of
sleeping with
them.
one dude.
That's most of them.
And another dude is just a cuddle buddy and just,
Yep.
What?
That's most of them. They're not 5 or 10% men. They're not. Yeah, you're right.
More with less says, can you elaborate more on chemistry, connection, compatibility, and looks compatibility?
So I've talked about the 8 C's, and I actually have them here on my computer. So that's what I teach people. You're going to assess based on the 8 C's. There is a teaching on my channel that breaks down all of the 8 C's. I'm just going to tell you what they are. The first one is Christ. That's because I happen to be a believer. I happen to be a devout believer. So we must have Christ in common. The man must be godly in word and in deed. The second one is character. I quickly assess a man's character, who he is when no one is watching. Does he have integrity? The third one is commitment. I quickly assess if he's ready. Is he ready for something real? And y'all are not doing that. You are putting too much time and energy into people who want to play. So commitment is the third one. The fourth one is compatibility. That is shared values, shared morals, lifestyle, right? Finances, we need to be compatible. The next one is communication. This is an easy one because most people are horrible communicators. I see how this person communicates with me. I see how often they communicate. What is their preferred method of communication? The next one is conflict resolution. We need to be able to disagree. We need to be able to tussle. As I say, I love a tussler, but we need to be able to tussle in a way that's respectful. The next one is connection. That is something that we can't manufacture. You are going to meet a person and you're going to feel a pull towards them. So we can't make that one up. It can't be taught. You either feel a connection to the person or you don't. And the last one is chemistry. Chemistry is the easiest thing to determine. It is something that people have determined looking across a room, that they have chemistry with a person. Okay. And again, that's another one we can't manufacture. Either it's there or it's not.
This really kind of disgusted me, in all honesty. Let's see. Where are we at? 28, 35, 28, 35. Just to think of guys are just like sitting around, just being a cuddle buddy, and just I'm going to use this guy to hang my speakers.
Yep, there's a whole thing.
You know what? There was one I had. Hold on, let me see. I wasn't going to play this, but since we brought this up,
right.
Since we brought this up, let me go over to Instagram right quick. Hold on. I wasn't gonna play this, but here's what you cuddle buddies get, right?
Okay.
Here's what you. All right, let me remove this. Actually, stop screen share. Present, share screen, Instagram. Okay. Here's what you cuddle buddies get.
Mhm.
One of these guys. The side of the highway with a flat tire and it's understand.
Call AAA yet?
I said, I'm not gonna call my sister first. My sister always come through. I'm gonna call one of these guys. I'm gonna call one of these guys to come help.
Okay.
It hurt my ego to say the responses. I'm not even gonna hold you. It does hurt my ego.
Why you call
One
AAA?
said, I'm not a tire shop. Two said, it's raining too hard.
Hey, yo.
You
Okay.
didn't answer.
3 didn't. I told you.
Before he gets into his commentary, I'm just gonna say I agree. She called 3 different people. One said, I'm not a tire shop. What are you calling me for? Second one said it's raining too hard. That's why I'm calling, because it's raining and my tire blew out. Third one didn't answer the phone. And you know all 3 of these dudes have seen her naked. But here's this guy's commentary.
I don't know when y'all gonna listen to me. I really don't. Let me be the first to tell her. You are an outside ball. Them niggas don't care about you. They're just trying to crack. But see, when y'all be getting online talking all that cash shit, talking about I get niggas in my DMs, niggas doing it. Now you can't even get nobody to come help you with a flat tire in the middle of a storm? To add insult to injury, you ain't even got AAA. This is exactly what niggas have been saying since the beginning of fucking time. Y'all think y'all got all these options. Clearly you do not. That's why your ego was hurt. Now you stranded. The first nigga was diabolical. I ain't gonna lie, but that's some funny shit. Nigga said, I'm not a tire shop. Why are you calling me? Second nigga said, it is raining too hard. Third nigga didn't even answer. You thought you had it like that. Not to mention, I'm sure you would tell the world you got a roster. Do you really? And if we're being quite frank, based on the way them niggas responded to you, all of them hit already. Now look at you. Stuck. Assed out. Fellas, I told y'all, don't spend any time trying to talk any sense to these women. Allow the time to show them who they really are. Normally, I would wish that this video finds its rightful home.
All right, I gotta stop that. There's music playing in the background there. I'm obviously gonna have to edit that out here for the final clip there. I appreciate that peaceful life. I appreciate that, because that's gonna get me demonetized there. So so that music there. But your thoughts there about Anita about that.
Yep. So again, it sounds to me like she needs a man. She needs a man that she's committed to, that she, they're both doing things for each other. They can rely on each other. But again, I just don't understand this way of thinking that, okay, I have this roster, I have all these men, and, you can't call upon any of them? No, I'm good. Yeah, that's crazy.
Jayla says, haven't men done the same thing? Yvette likes to cook. Monica loves the comedy club. Natasha is in Netflix and chill. What are your thoughts about that?
And don't get me wrong. Like I said, yes, I think women are trying to take a page out of a man's book, but we're not men. We're not men. So yes, I think men have done the same, but women are just trying to take a page out of a man's book. And again, this is where, everything is not going to correlate, right? There are things that men do that women shouldn't be doing. I'm just going to be honest. You shouldn't be doing that. Mm-mm.
All right. Whew, this is driving me nuts here.
Yep.
Let's see, where are we at? 28:32, 28, 30. All right, back to the main event
If I
here.
could give advice to younger women, it would be don't respect yourself, love yourself.
I don't think that that's the advice I would give. I'll be honest with you too. Like even with the rebrand, right? When we started Horrible Decisions, we wore the whore badge proudly. Like we have the whore hive. Like it was a word that we essentially wanted to reclaim. Unfortunately, with the reversal,
The whore hive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
They're trying to reclaim
rights and
the
autonomy,
word whore.
I think that
Jeez, that's crazy.
with the reversal of Roe v. Wade and all these motherfuckers trying to take away our rights and autonomy, I think that we're even down the rabbit hole even further of what it looks like to be labeled as that. And I think as a woman seeking her own sexual liberation, and what it really means is freedom and power to remove yourself from all stigmas and all labels that patriarchy has wanted to give us, right? And so for me, where I thought it would be an empowering word, it's one of those words that we as women, I don't think we'll ever get to reclaim, unfortunately. And so that title,
So you gave up.
it's not a badge to wear that anymore. However, to feel free and to feel powerful and to be able to express to a man no, and to say, actually, this is how I receive pleasure. If you can't do that, I'm fine. Me not changing myself to appease a man or to be more likely for him to select me, that's power. That's liberation. It's not walking around here saying, oh, I fuck everybody, whoever I want. I also take it from the back and all my holes. Like there's a way to express it, yes. And we've done it on this pod for 8 years comedically, and we shared our traumas, we shared our laughs. Sex is fun, right? But I think for me, like owning your true power. So when you say you want to sleep with someone, doing it because you want to do it and really knowing what you want. Like even when we were talking about, right, the casual partners, I think that's the problem with a lot of women. They're like, yeah, I just want to use him for dick. And then he comes over and you realize, no, bitch, you want to be held. You want a hug. You want a man to rub you on your forehead. There actually are more things that you want. And now liberation to you only looks like dick. Liberation doesn't look like asking for all of those other things you actually want, which is what leaves you feeling completely empty.
But sexual liberation should exist in its own, though.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
to me,
So right there.
you do want to be held,
Yeah.
not sex.
Yep. But most women genuinely want intimacy. They want emotional intimacy, right? I can give myself an orgasm. That isn't hard. But when another person is in the equation, I want to smell them. I want to touch them. I want the hug, like she said. I want the intimacy. I want the talking. I want the emotional intimacy. So it's not just about, again, the orgasm, because most women don't. Most women don't. It is about the closeness. It is about talking to each other. It's about laughing together. That's actually what most women are really after. And so they're willing to trade sex for that. But one of the young ladies, and we're going to move on after this, we're going to move on to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, but one of the young ladies was saying, I've been trying to have these casual sex hookups and negotiate cuddling afterwards. And some of these men don't want that. They just want to get up and put their clothes on. And I'm like, yes, that's what casual sex is. And you're sitting here trying to negotiate with a stranger that you barely know to give you emotional intimacy. That's what casual sex is. So again, women say they want it all, but you can't have it all. If you're going to pick up a stranger in a club and say, yeah, I want to go home and have sex, yeah, he's going to give it to you. But all this other stuff, he's like, no, that's not what this is. So that's the delusion that I'm seeing over and over. They're like, yeah, why can't we have it all? Why can't I have the casual sex and then, we make food and we watch Netflix afterwards? Because the man is like, yeah, I got what I came for.
How many women there's probably no way to know this, but how many women do you think are really under this delusion that these ladies are doing? I'm talking about 40 and under. How many really kind of think that they can really operate like a man? I mean, how many? I mean, a lot of them, 80%.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. There's a lot of women that think this is real. Yeah, it's a lot of women. It's sad. But they're like, yeah, I'm just going to, get this. But the truth is, women want emotional intimacy. That's what most women are after.
So that's so crazy, Anita. I mean, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Because we're in this mess because of this. Lost in Translation says, what is this liberation thing they're speaking of? It's the sexual liberation, right? I mean,
Yep.
they can live and be free from the constraints of Victorian thinking. Chaste, I gotta be a virgin on my wedding night. That's what they want to be free from, and they can operate like a man. And I can go out there and have the same experiences, sexual experiences, without feeling guilty or ashamed or bad or needing to hug and cuddle after. And when's he gonna call me the next time?
Yep.
It's such a lie. It's such a lie.
I know. I know.
Such a lie.
And you heard them talk about, we need to be free of the stigma. We need to be free of. Again, for you to tell yourself that is one thing, but you can't control what other people think. And that is the delusion. They want to control what men think about them, just sleeping around. Because you shouldn't think that. There shouldn't be a stigma on me having casual sex. You can't control that.
And they're trying to with, don't ask us about our body counts and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But if it's not a stigma, then tell us.
See?
Then tell us what it is.
But they know that they will be judged as they should be. Yeah, they know that it's going to be a problem.
And Bala Hall says there's an attack on Black female through music and being overly sexual, but they're doing it to themselves.
They really are.
You're doing it to yourself. I mean, you're putting these podcasts. He said, I didn't even know they've been talking about this for 8 years. 8 years you've been talking about, and these are her words. How many holes on back door?
Yep.
8 years you've been talking about this. Not only Sexy Red and Cardi B and all these other ones, but come on, Black women, come on, right? I mean, the Black women have fought hard to get over the what are the tropes? The Jezebel trope, and what's the other one there? The sexually liberated one, right? The three. I can't think of it. Anyway, just sexually promiscuous woman, right? Rid of that, and they just dive right back in it.
They dive right back in. Yep.
Crazy. It's clear that they really have them in therapy. I can't believe any licensed behavioral professional would say this is healthy. Oh, they're all saying it. I read the thing there from Wiki. They're saying it. They're definitely saying it. It's terrible. All right, let's see. We'll play this a little bit more of this here.
There's a lot of pressure. Once I started getting to a place where,
can I ask you, how do you feel liberated in settling for someone that's not giving you what you want?
And settling for it with sex?
Like, how is there a liberation if I'm a woman and I want casual sex, but at the end, all you got to do is just lay there with me for 10 minutes. And he's like, yeah, no, I ain't got that for you.
Gonna be honest,
how does a woman find
minutes?
But what I'm saying is, and it could be, I used to only want 5-10 minutes. Bro, don't just get up, put your clothes on and leave. So what I'm saying is, how is a woman who may just want a little bit of aftercare, which is what we talk about, especially with any sort of BDSM that doesn't even involve sex. How do I feel liberated as a woman if I'm accepting crumbs or just pieces of what I want and not?
You have to accept that sex that you're asking for isn't crumbs. Like, if you want to get fucked, but it comes with a caveat, that might be something you need to negotiate. But knowing that you're just asking for sex, adding the extras on top is something to me that surpasses just asking for the sex.
Not that's a la carte.
When I got super...
She said the 10 minutes after, a la carte, bitch, that's an add-on. It's going to cost you a little bit more.
You can definitely say to someone like, hey, like, totally want to keep it casual, but I am a cuddler, and see their response. That will probably get you what you want right there.
Would you have sex casually with a guy knowing that you like head? Would you have casual sex with a guy who's like, yeah, but I don't do that?
Yes, if the dick is good. If I just want dick.
How are you liberated?
I didn't mean it. I mean, I wanted to answer this question.
Okay.
A woman's body count or statement is none of his business. Of course it is, because that comes with you've not been paying attention. Well, I don't know. There's trauma that comes along with that. There's expectations that come along with that. There's Anita just sent me. I don't have it to pull up right now. But even kissing. You're exchanging microbiomes and all that.
Yep.
Of course, who you sleep with and how often and who and when and all that matters. Of course it does.
Yep.
To pretend as if it doesn't, it's really fooling yourself. You're not
It
fooling
is.
anybody else, because men are going to ask, and men are concerned about it because we want to know how promiscuous our woman is. Just like a guy's future that matters to you. You're going to be able to make some money. Are you going up in the world? Are you going backwards? You got a drug addiction? What's
Yeah.
going on here, brother? You want to know all that?
Or was he ever down low? See? So a woman shouldn't know if he's ever had gay sex. Like, come on. Has he ever had gay sex? Has he been incarcerated and had gay sex? You would want to know that, wouldn't you? So I don't deal with men who've been incarcerated for that very reason. I have clients who are in relationship with men who've been incarcerated. I don't. I've never dealt with a man who's ever been incarcerated, ever been in jail. No, thank you. Because it does matter.
Don't get me wrong, Chai. How was you in Vegas?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I particularly
we
have
no
never
way
asked
to
that question.
verify it. Right.
Yeah,
We
I'm
have
not
no
gonna
way
ask
to
that
verify
question.
it. Yeah.
But if I get the hint, the feeling that you're talking like these women on the first couple of dates,
Yep.
and you're just like casual like that, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna get what everybody else got.
Mhm.
But just you got to know which shelf you're going to be on, or wherever place you're going to be. But it certainly matters for long-term relationship, particularly if they're young like this, want to have kids and babies and
Yep.
stuff. Come on, I don't want you
Yep.
teaching that to my daughter.
Right. Yep.
All right, I just want to stop it there. I just bothered me there. All right.
Yeah.
Created by a man then telling you no.
I see what
I
you
ain't gonna
mean.
do what you want. Like
I probably
that,
wouldn't go
that to me removes the power. If I'm sitting here wanting what I want, and I'm you telling me to go out and get it, and then I meet a guy and he's only willing to give me bits and pieces of I want, that reminds me of accepting crumbs. And I accepted it in a relationship, but in casual sex, I know that's where I felt like, damn, I feel unfulfilled. I think nothing felt worse than leaving a relationship, receiving that intimacy, and feeling mad at myself.
I'm going to say this while holding your hand. It's because you either weren't fully comfortable with the casual sex that you thought you desired, or you're missing the X. Think about the phases of single. We all have them. The beginning is like, oh my God, it's fun. Then you're like, oh, I miss him. Ooh, I don't know how this feels, but I shouldn't be doing this. There's like phases of how single works. I think if you genuinely felt like that, then casual sex can never really work.
So that's my problem. I would say for you, in looking for this type of relationship and seeking your sexual liberation, it would be then to find power in, I guess, here we go, fate, acceptance of what someone genuinely has to offer and what you will settle for, or what will still keep you feeling powerful. Like, because I don't think there's anything powerful in only accepting what someone's willing to give you. If you
All right,
Yeah.
let's fast forward. This is the last
Yeah.
one you got to get to.
Yep. But she admitted that,
We're gonna-
yeah, you may not be cut out for this, right? If you want cuddling, if you want emotional intimacy, then you're not cut out for casual sex. And most women are not. Most women are not cut out for casual sex. They want emotional intimacy. They want to do relationship things. And what casual sex is, okay, well, we'll do relationship things without the relationship. So most women cannot handle that. They actually want the man to love and care about them. That to me is what makes the sex special.
Every time it's been suggested to me, you have a session. Can we go get something to eat before we do this? Wait a minute, that's a date.
Right.
What? Wait a minute, that's a date.
Yep.
Or can we get something after? Can we get something after?
Yep.
No.
See?
No. You're missing the point here.
Yep.
So eventually, like I had to be mature and say, listen, I don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
because I know eventually the emotions are going to kick in.
They sure are.
All right, this is
If
the
you're
last
sitting
time
across,
stamp.
eating a meal and talking. Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. Last time stamp here, then we get to Cheyenne Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of fun. That road to getting to that person, really the person is yourself, right? Like the best version of yourself. But if the goal is meeting someone else that you can end up getting what you eventually want, I do think you have to let some of this shit go. I do think there needs to be some reverse engineering on how we see casual sex a bit, because it fucks up so much of the sexual relationship we try to have with ourselves. I'm only good at sex with my partner because I figured out all this shit before. I'm 34, right? I didn't meet him young. But knowing that I like threesomes, sometimes I wonder how it feels for him reading the chapter about my ex and the threesomes we had. Like, damn, she really did this shit already. There's even a bar I mentioned in New York, Last Lap, where I met a lot of girls that I had threesomes with. That shit happened with me and too. I don't know how that makes him feel, but it's the reality of, oh yeah, this girl said exactly what she wanted. Like, we got to get there.
I do want to double click on what you said, because I think that's so important and so relevant to you, is that, and that a good aha for all of this is that your sexual liberation or your sex life outside of you can't fuck up the sex life you have with yourself.
Yes.
And you have an amazing sex life with yourself right now.
I do.
Where do you feel like you're at today? And what would you want more of? Not necessarily tomorrow, but like what's on your roadmap?
I feel where I am today, I'm open. I'm open to trying things, and I will be more open to what the fates have for me. But going forward from here, I want to be more in my erotic power. I read a lot of Audre Lorde, and I'm always like, okay, you need to bring this out. And so I want to bring more of that energy out. I want to have a hot girl summer, especially for the fact that by the time the summer is over, I get my hysterectomy, and I wonder what sex is going to be like for me after that. So it's like, this is my final summer to just enjoy myself, enjoy the erotic power. And then for winter, I'm just going to kind of
It is
heal.
not your final summer, girl. Next summer, your pussy healed.
Exactly. But it's going to take some time for it to heal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
Which is
So-
why I really love that
so
you want
right
intimacy in
there-
other ways, like bondage, submission, shibari, like going through a hysterectomy, like you can still experience pleasure. You know, like we've all had friends that, that've been through things like that. And I definitely would agree with someone knowing they want something so niche. You already understand that pleasure exists outside of this shit, which a lot of people don't. My partner sometimes won't have sex with me for the day if I'm like super thirsty, because he really wants to build it. He's a real hotep. Like he don't want to come because the power release, but like I kind of get it now.
Yeah. So
He's
right
like, let's just
there,
make out. We'll put on a
um,
timer. He'd be like, you're making out with me for 10 minutes. I don't give a fuck. You think 10 minutes is gonna happen? It's silly, but I know when I hear the ding, I could touch his dick. Like all of that buildup of no sex, I really think is gonna make your next time, whether it be man or woman, insane.
Only if it's good.
ooh, I can't wait. Exactly.
Only if it's good.
Because I'm on a celibacy kick too. Like in terms of sex, I haven't had penetrative sex now in a year and a half. And so it can't just be any random person, because if it sucks, I'm going to be mad that I gave up my celibacy for them.
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. I think
all right. Yeah, that's
all right.
that's the end of it. But again, the
Jesus.
the other girl is planning on getting a hysterectomy. She's planning on getting an elective hysterectomy. And I don't know. I mean,
For
there are
what?
a lot of women. There are a lot of women now who just don't want to have children. So I think that's going to be her primary form of birth control. She doesn't want to have any kids. She wants to be able to have a hot girl summer and not have to worry about having any children. But we're seeing this. We're seeing these elective hysterectomies and elective tubal ties and all of this. Yeah, it's really sad where we have landed.
Chihuahua House in Vegas. I love Sean. I believe you. Which one was Sean? I don't even know who that one. Which one was Sean?
She's
Which
the
one was Sean?
fair skin. She's the fair skinned lady with the light eyes. She was sitting next to the brown skinned girl. That's Shan Boudram.
Okay, I don't watch the show. I don't know.
Mhm.
Hi, Vi says good for her for not procreating, because she would probably not be a healthy parent.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's probably a good way of looking at it. Yeah. She's done because she's not even going to want to have sex after having hysterectomy.
See?
Yeah, because doesn't it take your drive away?
Yep. So again, but what she'll do is she'll go out there and she'll go against her nature. She'll just go out there and have random sex with people for the sake of being liberated. She won't even want to really have sex, but she'll do it anyway.
Or just to prove that she can, that she's
Right.
liberated, that she's a free spirit.
Yep.
And I bagged another guy, as if that's difficult.
Yep.
Where am I? Chihuahua Vegas. Okay, Chihuahua Vegas. Okay. All right, we got excuse me, we got Cheyenne Bryant, who is a progenitor of these type of nonsensical garbage, word salad on steroids.
Yep. And again, all you have to do is just listen. Just sit back and listen. These people tie the noose around their neck. Just sit back and listen.
That is the second time in a couple of days. I restarted my computer and everything. I crashed out.
Okay.
All right, we got maybe the internet guys don't like me talking about Cheyenne Bryant here. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. This is Cheyenne Bryant on this particular show, The Truth After Dark with Paul and putting her foot in her mouth again, in my estimation.
Mm.
All right, here we go.
You done went across the Red Sea. You done been in the wilderness for 40 years like Moses and the Israelites. You get to finally where you want to be, Dr. Brian, at 42, 43. And you mean to tell me when God told you to speak to the rock, i.e. take your time, that you're going to hit the rock just because some outside chatter told you that you 42 and you should be married already because you're so successful? Now I'm going to talk to the rock all day long. I'm going to get my water and my promised land. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
And the Lord said.
Amen. Amen. And guess what I'm going to do? What God says. I'm going to have the witnesses witness me, do all of it.
Come on.
And so I could be a testimony and continue to be a vessel for his word. To show that we ain't got to be impatient.
Come on.
We do have to be obedient. And
Come
so
on.
faith is an action word. If you ask for it, God will do it. And it's not on your time, it's on his. So once you ask for it, let God give you experience that gives you wisdom, that equips you for what you need to be, with who and where you need to be. Because you got too many people that are not only doing time, but their kids are too, and the mothers are too, because neither one of them took their time to wait for the right time for the meat, like Paul said, not to be toxic, but to be cooked.
Come on now. Now.
You got a word there for Sister Bryant there?
So one thing I thought was so interesting about Paul, so he trolled her in this episode, right? A lot. He took a lot of heat in the comments because people were like, why isn't he coming for her? Why isn't he correcting her? He trolled her. Like a lot of that was just, him. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't going to come directly at her or for her, but all of that stuff he did, that was just him trolling her. That was just him like, you're so full of it. And there were a couple times where he did say that. Oh, you good with those words, Doc? You good with those words? Oh, I know what that means, And he would laugh, and that's when her mask would slip. Whenever he would genuinely laugh because he found her to be ridiculous, that's when her mask would slip. She would get frustrated, or she would say, oh, look at him laughing. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? She would get frustrated. But he pretty much trolled her that episode. He didn't come directly for her, but everybody knew what he was doing. They knew what he was doing.
I apologize. I went too far. That was not the first mark that you had me do. So we'll play it right here from the 1333 mark. I apologize. So we're going back a little bit.
Economically stable enough to provide a life for my children and choose a man from not a perfect place, but a healthy place, so that I can say I'm not only choosing a husband, but I'm choosing a father for my kids before I even, procreate with this man. A lot of folks who do marriage early are choosing codependently a partner who can satisfy their trauma in that space. And they trauma bond. And after that trauma's healed or that trauma shifts, those conditions are gone. So guess what's also gone? The bond. Because if the trauma changes, which is what's the glue to the bond, then the bond has to change. So now we say we outgrew each other. No, y'all never were with each other. You were with each other's traumas. You don't even know this man.
Ooh. Damn.
Wait a minute. So
okay, go for it, Paul.
You said
Yo, he said, wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
What?
So you still want to get married and you still want kids?
What's so funny about that?
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like
What's so
no,
funny?
I just feel like
why was you laughing?
no. This is not a knock.
See, this is where we need Kevin Samuels back, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to hear this stuff.
Right.
What's
right?
funny about that? You're 42 years old, woman. What's funny about that? I can't live in my dreams, my delusions. I can't live in this mystical high tower and some dragon is out here trying.
Yep.
This is the real world where biology really is a thing.
Yep. But she, again, her mask would slip when he would challenge the delusion. Well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Okay. Okay. Oh boy.
This is just like, I feel like when you get older, like this is the time to enjoy more life. This is not the time to be like, you should be looking to travel the world, like see the world, because we on the back nine. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the back nine.
You are, not me. Papa, you, not me.
I'll take that.
I'm still
on the
auntie.
back.
And what's funny is Paul Pierce is 47.
Right.
She kept
And
calling
she's
him
40
Paul.
Right.
And she's
and
42.
Two. Right. Right. Hmm.
Yeah, you auntie. But I just feel like once the 40s hit, it should be like, man, you know what? That's all good because, like, you know, kids take up a lot of time, and kids will redirect the relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and
How you trying to have kids at 42 running around
Mhm.
chasing people at 42 years old? 10 years to be 52. You trying to go to softball games? What is wrong? What is going on?
Mm, mm.
I just feel like for me, it like this is the thing. I fell in love with what I was in love with the situation, how they were before the kid, and the dynamic of the kid, because you don't have no script for this. When the kid comes, the whole dynamic of the relationship changed now.
Especially for the man. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for the man.
Because now you go, and it's funny because I look in public relationships, like how a lot of famous like actors or actresses, like they divorce within the first few years of
You
having
know why, right?
kids.
Oh, you cook again. I'm about to put your ass back on the grill. What you cook?
All right, hold on. I got to fast forward here.
Mm.
We're going to do 24:47 mark.
Yeah, she said maybe Cheyenne plans on getting a surrogate. Maybe, but she's talking in this episode about taking out her IUD, and she's been dating a man off and on for 5 years. And, you know, he's 9 years younger than her. So we shall see, because I have clients. I did counseling for clients in the last year. I did IVF counseling for 6 couples. And the women in those couples were between 29 and 35. So between 29 and 35, and they were going the IVF route. And Dr. Brian is 42. So good luck. That's all I'm going to say. Again, we're not saying it's impossible. It's just not probable. And that's where the delusion comes in. Yes, my grandmother had her last child at 45, right? Now that was many, many years ago. But it's not probable, especially now. It's anything is possible, but it's not probable for most women that age to have a first child.
And
So
even
that's
then,
the
you know,
part.
having one,
Right.
right? I mean, how fair is
Right.
that to the kid, right? All the different problems. I guess they're not really psychological problems, but you know, it's just unfair to someone to have this kid. It just seems so selfish to me. You know,
Yeah.
it just seems so selfish. Come on, y'all, hit the like button. We had over 100 people in here, 46 likes. Come on, y'all, hit the like button. We shouldn't have to stop and do this all the time, right? Let's see. All right, let's continue on with this.
In life coaching, that should be a lifestyle
For
as a
sure.
preventative measure, not
For
an
sure.
intervention, right? But to Paul's point in
Yeah.
question about being 42 and wanting to be married and me wanting to wait till I was of age is exactly what you said.
Yeah.
With time, you get wisdom.
Mm.
And with seeing things and allowing other people's experiences to expose you to things that help you to have
Yeah.
better decision-making skills,
Yeah.
it saves you a lot of the bullshit that people are going through in their 20s and 30s when they're married young.
True.
You have kids, right?
Yes.
And can I ask how many?
You have 4 kids.
4 kids. Okay. By one woman, just
2.
2. Okay. So you're not with them, I'm guessing. Okay. So I'm not saying had you did it now, you would still be with them, but I know for sure had you did it now, you would, one, have done it differently, or you would have figured out how to do it in a way where you can actually have a family with whoever you're doing it with. That comes with wisdom at the age of your age 47. But at 23 or 30, whether you were thinking family or not, more than likely not.
No, I was thinking family when
Okay.
I was 30 when I started.
Did you get married to either one of them?
Yeah, I did.
You married both of them?
No, the first.
The first, but not the second. Okay, right. So at 47, you don't meet too many men who are procreating with or before marriage. Usually they're in the mindset you just said, I'm 47, I want to travel the world, right? I'm more responsible now because of my irresponsibilities, because experience teaches, words don't. So through your experiences, you learn what to do and what not to do. So men and women become better with age because of their experience. Experience gives you wisdom. Words do not, because they don't teach. So for me as a woman of age, I always want to make sure that I was having my kids in equity, not a deficit, because of my own inability to make good decisions on behalf of them. So at 23 or 30 years old, or maybe even 35, my decision making may have chose a situation that puts my kids in a deficit. Now, your children are blessings, no matter how you look at it. They just are.
All right. Let's see. What's the end goal? Why are men suddenly obsessed with a woman's fertility? I don't think it's suddenly. I think it's people have always been concerned about a woman's fertility. They've always done that from the beginning of the human species. I mean, how are we gonna reproduce?
Exactly. And they're just talking about
this isn't new.
They're just talking about it now. But the reality is this. We're seeing it on both sides of the aisle. We're seeing men's testosterone go down. Like there is science that says because of the food, because of the water, whatever, right? Environmental reasons. Men's testosterone is going down, and we're seeing women's fertility act up. Like I said, never in a million years did I think a 29-year-old woman would be going the route of IVF. That is the reality. The world is different. The food is different. The water is different. And people are having problems. Why do you think IVF was created? So, yeah, it's a whole thing. And again, there will be outliers out there. Yes, there will be some women in their 40s who get pregnant, on their own, but is that going to be most women? Right? We keep talking about outliers, but biologically, by the time a woman turns 40, 97% of her eggs are gone. That's a reality. We keep wanting to outthink biology. That's not going to happen.
Let's see. We'll go to the next timestamp here. 27:49.
Including some of my own family members that have gotten pregnant and they were like, you know what, girl, I'm 30 something. I'm just going to have it. Like, even if they're married, I don't feel that it's like, you're so happy or anything, but you're like, hey, I'm this age. I'm just going to have this child now because it's what I should be doing. Or you feel like you're on this biological time clock where you're like, okay, oh my God, I'm nervous. I'm getting of age to where I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Am I going to be able to have children? And I feel like women have that pressure. And another thing is, I feel like women have the pressure of, a lot of the times, even for me, when I've been podcasting or I've been out in the world, it's like, why are you single then? As if it's like, you're not shit because you're single. It devalues you. Like, why are you single? Well, maybe I'm single because I know myself, my standards, and what I actually want. So I'm not settling for anything, because a lot of people I know are doing just that. Yeah. But what do you say to women who feel that pressure? Because you're very confident, 42, you're like, I can have kids, I'm going to get married. And I love that energy. Yeah. And I believe it. And I love that energy. But I feel like so many women are in fear and they operate out of this fear. And if you can say anything to help them, like that would be amazing.
They're operating out of lack.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say, where's your faith at? Faith is an action word, right? And so for me, I always use Abraham and Sarah in the Bible. God doesn't, he keeps his promises. He says no request returns void. Ooh. Okay. And so Sarah and Abraham made a request for a child. They were up in their 80s, and Sarah got impatient, and she told Abraham, get the maid pregnant.
Hold on. You said it was in their 80s? Both of them?
Yeah, it's in the Bible. Look it up. Bible story. I know Sarah. But this is why faith is an action word. Sarah told Abraham, listen, it ain't gonna happen. Get the maid pregnant. He got the maid pregnant. As soon as he got the maid pregnant, Sarah's pregnant. Yeah. So Sarah told Abraham, guess what? I'm pregnant now, bruh. Maid, she gotta go. So Abraham, being the good husband that he was, because remember, he's been hearkening onto her voice the whole time. He didn't cheat. She gave him permission to do this. He tells the maid she gotta go. God talks to the maid in the desert and says, listen, you don't know who you're pregnant with. Go back. The maid's like, I can't go back. Go back. She comes back. Sarah has her baby. Guess what's in that household? Nothing but conflict. Nothing but conflict. What is my point? My point is, I'm not Sarah. I understand that my request ain't returned void.
Ooh. All right. I have a hard time listening to her psychobabble here.
Yeah.
Next timestamp here.
Yeah, and this is her, bringing in her Christian faith, bringing in the Bible, but she is going to radically contradict that in this next, 20, 30 minutes. I can't even stomach it. How people, play with God. I just don't like that.
Own little thinkers. I mean, I'm a biblical girl. I'm a Jesus girl. Biblically, the hierarchy goes God, Paul, you, babies.
I told her that.
Babies.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. Men have the honor of God automatically covering them.
Yeah.
Right? Women, we marry into our man.
What did she say? God, what?
So God, man, woman, and then the children. She was talking
She
about
said
the
Paul.
hierarchy. Yeah, she was talking to Paul about what is the correct covering, like what's the correct order, right?
Y'all get the likes up.
You,
I
babies.
told her that.
Babies.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. Men have the honor of God automatically covering them.
Yeah.
Right? Women, we marry into our man's covering. So men gets God's covering, we get a double layer of covering, and the kids get triple layer of covering. Why? Because they're kids, they have no insight.
Oof.
They need a double layer of protection. However, love that we're going here.
I
If
want
Paul
you to
has
go
and
to
y'all babies-
4819.
Oh.
We're going to skip some of these. We don't have to do all of these.
You said
No, I took my IUD out about a month ago so that I can be
Okay.
ready to do my thing.
Congrats.
I'm
I
very
what is
love
that?
excited.
The
that.
eggs?
The IUD is like
You took the eggs out.
Congrats. There'll be parties about that soon, right? I took my IUD
the
out.
IUD out.
Get my IUD removal party.
Right. Give me a
The
break.
freezer?
No, the
That's not
IUD
that?
is a birth control method that you put
Oh.
inside of your vagina.
I wish I had a pillow.
Oh,
I
I
would
don't
like
know.
to ride at your head.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know. I mean, I know.
The
I didn't-
eggs is crazy, but
Well,
no.
you freeze the eggs.
Yeah, you do that. But
I
that's
didn't
not
know
what
if that was
the
that
IUD
what it's called.
No,
I know.
The IUD is a little T that looks like this. It's smaller than this. It goes inside the woman's cervix to stop the sperm from fertilizing the egg. So it goes
You
inside.
took that out. You saying?
I had my doctor take it out so that I no longer
Oh.
have birth control contraceptive inside of me.
That's different. I never heard
Okay,
of that
so
one.
we
Took it out
no
so that I can get
longer
pregnant.
have
I've
birth
never heard of that
control,
one.
I never
but we're
had one,
not
but it's-
married. We no
Which
longer
tells
have.
you guys have been shooting up the club left and right.
Yep. We no longer have birth control, but we're not married. We didn't say we got married. We didn't say we're in a relationship or got married. 5525. I want you to go there next.
So, and another thing, I said, I was talking to a friend earlier and I said, the young guy that I was dating for 5 years off and on, I said he had no kids. He was young, very successful, in his field. I said, and what I loved most about him was he showed his responsibility, because in our intimate settings, I never, ever one time had to say, can you put a rubber on? Can you put on a contraceptive? I never had to say that, because in his mind, he didn't want to procreate before marriage. He didn't want to be raw dogging. He didn't want to.
He didn't want to raw dog you.
Right. Oh, Lord.
I'm 9 years younger. I got my whole life ahead of me. I want to raw dog you.
Right.
Even though we might have had 4 or 5 years together and he was in love with me, he was being responsible. And that was a strong act of self-love. Because what he was saying is that, wait, it's not just you know your value, Shy, and you want me to cover up, not just because babies, but obviously STDs, but I know my value as a man. So you ain't got to ask me to cover up, because I'm not going in nothing wrong. That is a man who
I
loves
want you
himself.
to
There's
go
no
to
man who loves
1
himself
hour and
and will
9
allow
minutes.
himself to be at the highest.
Lord. This one is going to get spicy.
Shoot, you done flipped the script on us. We over here.
Verse uno.
Man, you sure
Verse
did.
uno, but it was good. It was
No, but
insightful.
we're like, no, we need to find out about what's going on with her. She dating,
am
single.
dating.
What do that entail for a 42-year-old?
I am dating,
Dating but single.
enjoying my life. I have really good companions.
How many are you dating right now?
I'm not exclusively committed to anyone, but
I'm sorry. I don't even got this on the screen here. I'm sorry. I don't even got it on the screen here. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Finding us.
I was like, I want my woman to mommy me.
Like, hold on, what's going on with you? This is about you. You done flipped the script on us. We over here.
Verse uno.
Man, you sure did.
But it was good. It was
No,
insightful.
but we're like, no, we need to find out about what's going on with her. She dating,
am
single.
dating.
What do that entail for a 42-year-old?
I am dating,
Dating but single.
Enjoying my life. I have really good companions.
How many are you dating right now?
I'm not exclusively committed to anyone, but I have one guy that I have dated off and on for 5 years.
Got her.
We dated for 5 years off and
So
on.
you was his work for 5 years? You been his work? You still his work?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's still his work. I'm gonna rewind that here. I don't think this is any of our business, honestly. I'll tell you exactly why it's our business. Because she's purporting herself to be an expert life coach and all this type of stuff, and giving business and giving all this information. And here you are running the streets just like everybody else.
Yep.
That's why it's our business.
Yep.
So you don't want your business out there. Don't purport yourself to be like that.
Yep.
If I'm purporting myself to be some expert and I'm out here smoking crack every day, it's
Right.
your business.
Right. Right.
This lady's a complete clown.
I know what's going on now. I'm about to.
My gosh.
I'm not exclusively committed to anyone, but I have one guy that I have dated off and on for 5 years.
Got her.
We dated for 5 years off and on.
So you was his work for 5 years? You been his work? You still his work?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I know what's going on now. I'm about to, we're gonna take this sheep clothing off.
I am the wolf teeth going out.
He had enough of this chick.
Yeah.
All right, let me I sat here for an hour listening to this nonsense. Time for the teeth to come out here.
Oh,
we have somebody's work for 5 years.
We have been each other's companion for 5 years. And yeah, I have spent the block for 5 years, and it's the truth. And
spinning the block. That means she's going back to the ex. They breaking up, not talking. I'm not texting you. I'm blocking you, and I'm spinning, coming back. How are you talking to other people about relationships?
Exactly.
He doesn't like it. He's absolutely correct. He feels like I haven't provided.
Oh, your work.
We working together. Okay. We working together.
You keeping him at bay, or is he keeping you at bay?
He wants a relationship. He wants to be committed.
You just like the sex.
No.
Oh, let's keep it 100. How you keep somebody for 5 years? That's like for real. You can't keep nobody at a distance for 5 years. I ain't never done no shit like that.
I am not vitamin D deficient.
No,
everything is good in that department.
No.
Trash. I'm not vitamin D deficient.
Yep.
I got plenty of dudes that's shooting up the club. So much so I had to have an IUD that I'm just taking out now because I'm ready for one of these dudes to be it. Even though it's not him, I'm still not in a committed relationship.
Nope. So all you have to do is listen. She's gonna tell you exactly who she is if you just listen. Yeah.
He wants a relationship.
She done kept him on the side until she figured out if it's something better. I see where this is going.
He just has some emotional maturity that he had to do. We're 9 years apart. He's 9 years younger than me, and so we both had to work through things. But he's had to work on his emotions and his intense insecurities around being in a relationship.
And you've been waiting on it. Like what's the problem? Why y'all not together?
Just because of that,
you're waiting on that?
No, I'm not waiting on it, and I don't have him waiting.
So the D is good.
Oh,
let's keep it. I mean, that's what it's like, dude. Let's
he put on his red pajamas and feel like he's supposed to get spicy tonight.
This is clear.
Oh my God!
I know her. She's from Long Beach. Don't try to come with the suit jacket, the boots. You still and the glow.
You know what I mean?
You still from Long Beach, not from Inglewood. I can see that.
I am from San Pedro, a small community in the city of Los Angeles.
I
Okay,
can see through all of that.
Yes, he has great qualities. He does well in all that he does with me. He just emotionally
what I asked you. I asked you about his job and all that.
He does well in all areas.
Okay, she answered that. He does well in all
emotionally.
Areas.
I don't know. That's a broad question. What all areas?
You're a man, so you answer this question.
I answer.
Emotionally, he goes back and forth from.
He does good in all areas, but emotionally he goes back and forth. If this lady, what did High Vibe say? This is guard tool and a clown. This is crazy.
Yep.
I love you. He goes back and forth from I love you. I want to be with you. I'm mad because you won't be with me. You won't commit to me. And then his insecurities get the best of him. And it's like, I want you, but I'm not sure if I deserve you. I'm not sure that I can facilitate you. I'm not sure that I can be with you. So when I say emotionally instability, it's like him wanting to be with me is concrete. That's not unstable. His emotions in the relationship are just unstable, to where as a man, you got to get vertical within yourself before you can be in a
Nah, he
relationship.
good with these
And
words.
I am.
I agree. I was just about to say that. He should go with these words.
Yeah.
I guarantee this man didn't say none of that.
Nope.
This
He
is a
sure
conversation
didn't.
that never happened.
Never happened. It's happening in her mind.
It's happening
Yep.
in her mind.
Yep.
Peaceful Life is asking the question here. Who do you think is worse, Dr. Bryant or Sprinkle Lady? Who do you think is worse?
I mean, they're very different. They're very different people, right? You've got all kinds of flavors. You got all kinds of women out here giving all kinds of advice. They're just very different. They're just very different. Shira 7 is married. She has a daughter. To me, they're just two different beasts. It's neither one of them is great, but whereas Cheyenne Bryant is going the route of, the educated, like you said, the Keisha. She is a perfect example of a Keisha. So the language she uses, the things she say, contradicting herself, she is a Keisha. She's an educated Keisha. So she wants to be touted as some intellectual, but yeah, she's not walking the talk. So to me, they're different. They're equally toxic. They're just different.
Your comment section is interesting. Y'all hit the like button.
He good with these words.
Listen,
because
but
you
let me
giving
say
all
this.
these people advice.
Let me say
But
this,
why-
Paul.
what's-
He has every right to feel like what I've been doing as far as being in a relationship with him when I want to and is not something that gives him stability. However, I don't want to commit to a relationship with a man who I feel emotionally is not in a place of being able to be in a healthy relationship.
So why are you messing with him? Why are you playing mental games with him?
I'm not playing mental
That's
games with him.
mental game.
It's not mental games.
Why
It's
you
all
still-
transparency.
Why is it still sex involved?
How do you
Why
know
is
we
it-
sexing? We could just be having a
Because didn't you
That's
say
like-
earlier he was using condoms? Like within the same episode, you said that he used condoms. Oh my God, I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. 20 minutes prior, you said, "Oh, what I love about him so much is I don't have to ask him to put a rubber on." Like you can't make this level of delusion up. Oh my God.
Spinning the block for 5 years, you're not having sex?
Sex
You just spinning the block for 5 years and just being
just
cuddle buddies?
because, right? Yeah, you can't make this up. This is one of her worst to date. Like I said, I enjoyed the Cam Newton interview when all of this began. I thought there were good points within that interview, but she is a perfect example of the fame or the notoriety. Like she got sucked in. She got sucked into everybody wanting her on their show. Nick Cannon, all these people, and now see that's the problem. When you let the fame or the notoriety go to your head and you keep talking and now we're seeing what it really is. So we're just seeing who she really is because she let the fame and the notoriety go to her head. And the more she's talking, the more we're figuring out, oh, wow, you really are not the person we thought you were. Yeah, that's all that's happening. So sometimes sometimes that has to happen. You have to let time do its bidding. That's why I keep telling you all, time is the great equalizer. Let time go by and then you're going to see who people really are.
Lost in Translation podcast says, wow, why would you remove your IED if you hold it in?
Exactly. Like it's comical at this point. It is comical.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But she's a Jesus girl. She's a Jesus girl, right? She's a Bible
I'm a
girl.
Jesus girl,
Yeah.
Bible girl, and I let men continually shoot up the club.
Right.
And wearing condoms. What are we talking? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's just this is her worst. This is her worst to date. Like she literally did nothing but contradict herself. This is her worst interview to date, in my opinion.
From Long Beach, I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, you can't play me.
We
I'm
cannot be
from
doing
the
the
wood.
do.
I know what's going on.
But let me say this: it is transparent. He understands. I understand. I understand what he wants. He understands why I don't want to commit at this moment with him, which is the emotional piece that him and I talk about openly.
So did he not want to commit? Does she not want to commit? I mean, what story are we going with here?
Right.
I support
Right.
him in it. I hold space for him in it. He's, we talked about it intensively, and he understands it. And he's.
Come here.
That's what,
Sit. All right, let him off the leash. Go ahead.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh,
Come
shit.
here.
Well, you
Sit.
know what? If that's what I'm
Man,
doing, I'll say this,
ooh.
and people gonna be mad. I'm okay. If I'm doing what Paul said,
Come here.
I'd much rather be the one walking you at the dog park than the one on the leash.
Mm.
If that's true.
That's
So
exactly.
that means,
come on.
to my point,
And that statement right there means a lot. I want to be
Yep.
the one in control. That's exactly what she's
Yeah.
saying. I'm dating a guy who's
Yep.
5 years, who's 9 years
9
younger than
years.
me,
Yep.
on and off for 5 years.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I'm not committed to him. I'm running around whoever I want to. Just say that.
Yeah.
Just say that.
Yep.
But don't pretend to talk and give women advice about getting married, stable relationships,
Yep.
trauma bonding, and all this other crap that comes out of her mouth.
Yep.
That's the issue that we have. You want to be out there running around? Go ahead and do it. But don't string along a guy who's 9 years your junior, pretending
Yeah.
you want this, pretending you want that, dating other people here and there.
Yep.
Come on.
at 42, I'm not opt out.
Rocky Rob.
We are not opt out. Okay, we have options, and we are not on the leash. We can actually be the one holding the leash. It's all about your standards. It's all about you understanding who you are and you standing in and on your square and you doubling down on that. Period. There's men out there who will show up in any capacity we want. We don't have to settle, and we don't have to settle at a certain time. We can do what we want. Because I tell you one thing I'm not doing. I ain't doing time, but I ain't spending a whole lot of time with who I want, when I want, and both of us are enjoying it, getting what we want.
Come on.
Y'all can't be just taking too long when y'all cook. Y'all.
Being each other's work. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. Let's see. Terlonius, thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. $5. Appreciate that. Go ahead.
Yeah, she the young lady who's Paul's co-host, like I said, she really felt like she learned something. She really felt like that Cheyenne was doing something. She was co-signing everything she was saying. It was really sad. But this is what these women who get in these vacuums, that's what they do. They just talk to each other, co-sign each other. We don't have to settle. We're not on anyone's time clock. Like I said, it's ridiculous. But okay. I want 10 years. What I want to happen is I want 10 years to go by. I want to see where all these people are in 10 years.
You guys are blowing up the comment section.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Men date younger women and string them along all the time, including teenagers. Okay. All right. So that was interesting. So Paul, he was being nice, but he really could have went in on her.
Yeah.
But he did.
And he did go in just in his own way, right? And I think she saw it. She saw there were several times where he said, yeah, tell us what a 42-year-old woman's options are. Like he got some digs in. He just did it in a way that was, more covert. He was more covert in how he did things. So he was smart. That was smart of him. He didn't want to, piss her off or piss off his audience. He was smart in the way he did it. But those of us, we read through the lines. We saw through the lines what he was doing.
Do you think that a lot of I think I did a video about this recently, right? They start to run together. Boss chicks, do you think that in your practice, have you seen them kind of grow up and say, regret it 40, 45, 50 and say, I really wish I would have had children, wish I would have gotten married sooner? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have several people right now that's what we're doing. We're trying to figure out how to have a fulfilling life without marriage or children. Like we're trying to create a blueprint because for a lot of them, it is too late. Now, some of them may get married. I had a lady who got married at 55. She did get married. She didn't have any children. And the man she married, he had three older, he had three grown children. Some of them may get married, but yeah, that's a lot of women that I see. And we're just trying to figure out what is their life going to look like if they don't marry or don't have children. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of women's story, unfortunately.
We learned a lot in this episode here. We learned about.
Oh my God, she's full of it. Yeah.
We learned a lot about mole rats. Oh, bull rats.
Bull rat, yeah.
And the chemicals that go on, the bonding chemicals. We learned that these ladies on the previous video that we reviewed, have a lot of trauma, and they're taking their trauma out on their backs.
Yep.
Just sleeping with everyone, and then they're going through celibacy journeys and all this other kind of stuff.
Yep.
And maybe after all, not really cut out for sleeping around. And then you got Cheyenne Bryant, who's still trying to think like she's 22.
Yep.
And sleeping around and removing her IUD and all this other kind of nonsense. So
yeah. So it's a whole thing. But right now, the saddest part of all of this is, women with their use of mental health medications, women who are, drinking wine or smoking weed, women who have emotional support animals, like all of these things are at an all-time high. And
so let's talk about that, because KFS has said the women will be fine according to stats. Two stats. So when you take a look at these stats, right, a lot of times when they take a look at these stats, right, they're self-reported stats, and some of the self-reported stats, right, let's just give a baseline here. How exciting is it to buy a car? A man may say an 8, a woman may say a 10.
Yeah.
That means that we're not even starting at the same level. Another problem with these self-supported surveys, self-reported surveys, is that when women are, they ask women in their 50s or whatever, are you happy, and this, that, and the other, right? A lot of times the women who report being happy already had kids, and or maybe their husband died, or maybe they're divorced. So it's not like they just grew up and just had this fun-free outside lifestyle and then woke up one day at 50 and said, I'm just as happy.
Right.
And like you just said, they still, more women are using antidepressant drugs, etc. So it can't be both at the same time. Right.
So I don't think it is. I think we're seeing a rise in all of these things because they are coping mechanisms. Drinking alcohol every night is a coping mechanism. Smoking weed is a coping mechanism. Having a bunch of animals and having them be emotional support animals and taking them everywhere you go, that's a coping mechanism. Right. The mental health medications is a coping mechanism. Overeating is a coping mechanism. So that's it. I want people to look at all the areas of their life, and I help people to do that in counseling. We look at the major areas of your life. We look at your spirituality and faith. We look at your relationships, and not just romantic relationships. We look at your friendships, your family relationships. We look at your diet. We look at your exercise. We look at your work or school, right? We look at all the major areas of your life, and we try to assess them and see, what would genuinely make you feel fulfilled. It's going to be different for everyone, but that's what I want women to do. I don't want them to just be spoon-fed this, have a hot girl summer. That's what's going to, you got to go through a whole phase. No, you don't. Just look at all the major areas of your life and assess them and figure out how you're going to get fulfilled. And I have a fulfilling life. I've been married. I've raised 3 children. I have work that I absolutely love. I have friends. I have great relationships with my family members. And I do a lot of fun things. I have hobbies and interests. I would consider myself to be kind of an anomaly in that area. I enjoy the life that I have. I've created a life that I love. If I got married again, great. If I don't get married again, okay. yeah, I'd be okay. I've experienced a lot in my life that a lot of women will never experience. So yeah, it just depends on the person. It's going to look different for everybody. However, I just want people to look at all those major areas. Just look at all those areas, assess them, and see where you are in each of those areas.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you. Tell us about your schools and what else you got going on.
So school is still going on. It is on the school platform. So skool.com. If you search Singles Seeking Soulmate, that is my platform there, my private community. You can get 30 days for free if you send me an email. So at info@betterlovemovement.com. If you send me an email and say, hey, I'd like to try school, I am going to have them send you an email, and it's going to welcome you into school for 30 days. We meet every Monday evening at 7:30 p.m. There is a course over there called Relationship Skills 101. You are welcome to go back to the beginning and look at all of the videos and all of the homework. But every week I release a module from the course, and then we talk about it live through Zoom. It allows people to ask questions and just kind of talk with each other. There are men and women over there on school. So I'm trying to create a community that's healthy, that if people want to not only learn about relationships, but possibly meet people. That is the goal of me starting school.
Very good. Very good.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for that.
Yep.
Let me say thank you to some people. Peaceful Life, 1999. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Eric Dedman with the $2. She said about Cheyenne Bryant, she's worse than prosperity pastors. What are your thoughts about that? You think she's worse than prosperity pastors?
Yes, because she's selling something that is never going to deliver. Yes, that's one way to put it. She's selling women something that is it's not going to pan out.
Terlonius said supporting. Thank you for that. And he also says another $5 for a great stream. Thank you so much for those gifts. I appreciate it. If anybody else wants to donate, I would really appreciate it. I do like to go to lunch every now and then. Probably be hungry sometimes. Let's see. Somebody asked the question, being divorced is not a flex. None of us who are divorced appreciate that. I think I know I kind of regret that, but
yeah, it is
happen.
what it is. We're not saying, I'm not saying it is a flex. I'm saying it as a fact. It's a fact. Okay. We're not saying it's a flex. We're saying that's my story. It's a fact. And I think he said something about divorce is a lose on investment. I got what I needed out of my marriage. I wouldn't consider it a loss in my investment. I got what I needed. I got a lot of information about relationships. I got my 3 beautiful children. I got a lot of things out of my marriage. So I wouldn't consider it a loss on my investment, because what if my husband had died? What's the difference? So yeah, I'm not saying it's a flex, but it's a fact.
I think I kind of appreciate this question by Ryder R8 Raider with 2 8s. Raider, how do we advance our community by exploiting individuals' imperfections with our communities? If you are speaking of talking, exposing, if you will, that's the right term for Cheyenne Bryant and for these other ladies that we talked about, we're trying to expose the damage that is being done by people who are worse than prosperity preachers and by those who are advocating that we embrace this type of behavior. These ladies on that particular podcast needed to get help, therapy, life coaching, rather than just willy-nilly sleeping around and all that. So that's what our philosophy is.
And remember, I'm not a loyalist. That's what people are expecting. They want me to be loyal to Black folks, or they want me to be loyal to Democrats or Republicans or men or women. I don't like nonsense. I call out foolishness wherever it appears to be. Okay, so you're not going to find me being loyal to women or loyal to men or loyal to Black folks. If I see something that's out of order, I'm going to call it out. So however you feel about that is how you feel about it.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you, Anita. Always a great time with you. I appreciate it. Thank you to the ones who gave me the super chats. You have any parting words? I know those were kind of some parting words there. You have anything else
Yeah.
you want to say?
No, that's it. That's it. I mean, if you want to go over to my channel, if you want to become a member, or if you want to, subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. I'm still slowly growing my channel. So, yep.
Yeah. KFS says Dr. Brian is speaking many single upperly mobile women's language, whether you like it or not, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That is the problem. Following her path will have you lonely, single, getting your black bone out by guys 10 years your junior. But that's what you want. and what does that do for the community? What does that do for the community? What does that do for the community?
Right.
So, but this is you guys got to make your own decisions about all that.
Yep.
I have a show later on today at 7:00. I'm going to take a nap, get something to eat.
All right.
And 7:30 tonight, we're going to be talking about upwardly mobile people in white spaces. Come to think of it, so join us for that one, KFS. Upwardly mobile Black folks in white spaces, how we navigate that, all that kind of stuff. All right, that'll be a little bit more educational. You guys take care. Thank you so much for the chats.
All right,
Much
y'all.
love and peace, y'all. All right.